Travis spoken.
I know that you were really upset about me falling asleep that day for some reason.
Welcome back to yours truly with Asia and
me, Asia, and
Lucy.
Her, Lucy.
Me, Lucy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Lovely.
It's the morning.
It's the morning.
Pumpkin spice is rolled out.
Energized.
So, in case you haven't heard,
You got pumpkin cream cold brew.
I did. It is my favorite drink.
Yes. Sorry.
No, I just think for whatever reason, the pumpkin spice cold brew with like the foam and the ratio to the cold brew
Yes.
is the best.
Perfect.
Out of all of their other cold
I 100% agree with
cold
that.
brews with the foam.
Yeah.
There's something about the ratio that's like better.
Anything else, it's too pumpkin-y.
Yeah.
But just the cold brew.
But even with Starbucks'
perfect.
other drinks, there are other cold brews with the foam.
Oh, they're not that good.
They're
No.
not. They're
No,
not as
they're
good as
not.
this one
No,
because
I
I
agree.
think there's something about the ratio, the sweetness to the. I don't know.
Fair
I've
enough.
tried all the other cold brews and I'll drink them. I mean, listen.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
just
new
a
to
girl.
this coffee world anyway.
But
so.
I just think this one is the best. So
I love that. I got the apple
classic.
crisp shaken espresso.
Yeah.
'Cause I just love their shaken espressos.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Do they have one that's not like not apple like rest of the year?
Yeah, it's the brown sugar.
Oh, and you
oat
like
milk
that one?
And that's like usually what I always get. So
Oh.
yeah.
So you like the apple one better or worse than that?
I like the apple one better. But so
anyways.
any hoozles, it is now fall, almost season. I don't count it as fall yet until September 1st, but
No,
that's
I
just
think
me.
everyone's been, because I mean, people get really heated about like
get
summer's
so
not
mad.
ending. Like, shut up with the pumpkin spice. I think the official day of fall is September 22nd.
I agree. It
No.
is
No, like it is.
No, yeah, it is September
No,
22nd.
it is.
But like in my brain, September 1st
Yeah.
is acceptable.
Yeah, I would agree with
But-
that. Yeah, but September 22nd is the day after my birthday. So,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
So it'll be fall.
It's amazing. I was gonna say one other thing, but now I feel as though it doesn't matter. So let's just dive in.
Bachelorette.
We're talking hometowns this week. What were your general overall summary of the episode in your opinion in like one sentence?
I not in a bad way. The episode was very predictable. I called it pretty much from the start.
Valid.
Like, I mean, after I saw each hometown, I was like, okay, it's gonna be this order. This person's going home. Like, I feel like
Okay.
So I didn't think there was any huge curveballs. Like, I just feel like it was the biggest curveball maybe is gonna be Marcus.
Yeah.
Because that went a little bit weird. We'll get into it, but I don't. What about you?
You know what? I would like to apologize to Jen. I feel like I wasn't like a big Jen fan going into this season.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she was super smart going into all of it. Like she's made great decisions all throughout. Yeah. And I feel like at the end of this episode, I just really, really liked her.
Yeah,
So,
I like her too.
I just like her a lot now. And I feel bad that I ever maybe said otherwise.
Yeah.
So, apologies, Jen.
Not that I wouldn't apologize, but I think I like her more than I did. I just still don't like, she's not, sometimes The Bachelor, I'm just like, man, we would vibe. Like, she's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if like our senses of humor, like, I don't know.
Fair.
But I like her in this role. I think she's doing a good job, type of a thing.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know what it was about this episode. Well, as we get into it, I just really enjoyed her. So we had Devon as number 1. I was shocked.
I was shocked that he was number 1 too. I thought
Devon.
I thought he was gonna be last.
I did too.
Because
I think
he's the front runner.
So the greeting that they had, I actually thought was really precious. Normally I'm like, oh, this is so stupid when they run and jump.
Oh.
But theirs was actually really cute.
I do. Anytime I feel when they like greet each other, I guess, I feel like I like that he's like, you can tell that he's like giddy and nervous.
He is.
And he's a very confident person, but it's kind of endearing to like see him be nervous and like giddy. And like he calls it out though. He's like, I'm like nervous to see you, or like I really missed you. And I just think that's pretty genuine.
She jumped high. I remember too when she like leapt into his arms.
Yeah.
And I feel like when she's alone, she can be very somewhat stoic.
Yeah.
And she just gets very giggly around Devon. And I
like
love that.
Giddy around each other.
So
I liked his hometown. I thought doing the run club with the friends was cool. Like I thought integrating meeting friends and stuff is always like, I feel like nerve-wracking. But
I would have hated it.
Yeah. I think, but it was like such an important part of his life that I thought that was like a cool, sometimes I'm like, what are they going to do? Just like walk around. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was a cool idea. Points for him for the idea, I think. And
I did think it was partially gross, but also partially
he was so sweaty.
With how sweaty.
He was so sweaty.
So sweaty.
I was looking at her when she was like hugging him. I was like looking at her hands and I was like, man, she's touching straight sweat right now.
So sweaty. But then I was like, oh, like he has to have known he was going to be that sweaty.
Yeah.
And he still opted to choose this.
And she wasn't grossed out by it.
And she was sweaty too. So I was like, this is sort of cute and endearing. So I don't remember much about his family, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I know it went well.
I think it went well. Yeah.
But I feel like it was like so just no issues, nothing like arose. And that's almost like best case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of that. So.
I feel like with the families, it's either usually goes one of two ways. Like the family's like, this is too fast. Yeah. I'm being protected, which I totally understand. Or the other side is like, usually the family is encouraging the person to be like, if this is like what you want, like don't hold back, be open. Like, so I feel like it's either one of those two. And honestly, I can get behind both. Like,
I can too.
I can get behind both. It's just in the delivery, I think.
If it was me, my family would 1,000% be the very not about probably the process and very skeptical. Yeah. And like overprotective. Yeah. But
it is nice when like the family, like, I mean, how much can you gauge from seeing a couple together for 5 minutes? But if they're encouraging the person to be like, you know, if this is what you want, like there is a risk in getting hurt, but you have to be open to it if it's what you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I agree with that.
But I don't think my family would be on that side of the fence whatsoever.
I don't think it'd be like, do it, get married.
You guys seem great together.
My dad for sure would be like, so I don't know exactly how this show works, but are you in fact dating 3 other women? And I don't think that would land well.
I don't think that would land well either.
And if my siblings were there, I think it would just be a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of awkwardness and like tension. So, but hey, I thought Devon's did great.
Devon's did good, yeah.
And he said,
and she said she's
falling.
She's falling.
Yeah.
No, he said I love you.
Yeah, and she said I think she returned and said I'm falling in love with you.
Yeah, which I think she's said before. Yeah. But yeah, he was the only one to say the words I love you. So that was big.
I still think Devon is the front runner.
I do too. And I do because I think I think it's genuine, but he's the one who's giving her the most validation, like the most verbal validation of like, I'm ready for this. I will propose.
He's the most confident in like what he wants and like how he's feeling.
I think he's the one who's, there's no doubt that like, I will propose. I do like giving her, which sometimes can be scary because are they just saying that or like, are they saying the right things?
Yeah.
Because it is so fast, but
I feel like if it were me, I would probably end up picking someone like that.
Yeah. I feel like women do. Yeah. The women do pick the one who they feel most secure with.
Because all of the bachelorettes ever, I feel like have always said like, I want someone on their knee at the end. Like whether that means we're going to get engaged.
Commit. Yeah.
Or like we date for several more years. But that's like exactly why I think JoJo picked that one guy, Jordan.
Yeah.
That's why Rachel Lindsay even sent the runner-up home he was like, I don't know if I can get down on a knee. And she's like, that's like all that I want. Like, I'm not doing it otherwise.
And this is with the Bachelorettes, like that exact thing is like in regular life, I would totally side with the guy who's a little bit more, like, I just feel like it makes more sense logically. But in the umbrella of the show, I understand probably why they want the thing to go to the end and like get the engagement, whatever. But it does, like, it's weird because like it makes sense logically if someone's like, I'm not ready for that. Like, I like you, I want to continue this, but I'm not ready for like this big of a step.
That makes sense. I think in my brain, I would almost be like, I am requiring you to get down on one knee because that shows that like you're done.
Yeah.
Like I think we both know that we're going to date for a long time.
Yeah.
But like I think at this point, because everybody knows that, like you're not about to go get married.
No.
But I want to know that you're
agree.
turning in the towel.
Yeah.
And that I'm not just another dating person for you if you get bored.
Exactly.
You get rid of it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I always kind of get mad when they're like, oh, I don't want to like get engaged. I'm like, okay, but you're getting a free ring.
Yeah.
Like you're not paying for this ring, my guy. You're going to be engaged for minimum 2 to 3 years, probably. Like every other, like they rarely ever actually get married. Like they're engaged for years. I'm like, what commitment really?
Just do it. It's better to have a broken engagement than...
Like, it's...
I don't care if it's a broken engagement at that point.
Like, what are you losing?
Yeah. Nothing.
Not money.
No. So
like it'll be public, but if you break up, it'll be public anyway.
Exactly.
So...
So, Devon,
okay. Number 1, that's done.
Jeremy. I feel like we can kind of speed through Jeremy's, unfortunately.
I knew it.
I knew it. I did too. I was like, Jeremy's going.
Yeah.
Like there's no shot.
It just wasn't. Yeah.
It was a cute date. I thought that was really fun. And I think they're really fun together, but I think it's giving more friend versus what she like wants long term.
Yeah.
So, and then the family was weird enough where.
Yeah, that I think was probably the most, because we both said we thought his was going to go super well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it did not go super well.
And I'm almost wondering if they just made it look worse than it actually was.
Maybe.
Too. So that because
you never know with
spoiler
the edit.
alert, he goes home.
Yeah.
I feel like they made his family, because they were playing like the tension music. And I don't really know if it was that bad.
The only thing that I was like, interesting was I feel like he was pretty oblivious to like.
He was.
To like, hey, I guess it's hard when you're not seeing, like, we're seeing each date like consecutively, but he was like, yeah, I think it's going great. I think we're on the same page and I don't have walls up and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I know.
I think the way his family received her is what put her off enough in my brain.
Yeah,
but
it was like, what, his sister or something?
His sister was a little
kind of
weird.
Weird. Just very, I don't know.
Like, not stirring the pot questions, but a little bit in a way that it wasn't like Jen could deliver great answers.
Yeah.
But next we had Jonathan.
I loved Jonathan.
I
like Jonathan a lot.
I like Jonathan a lot too. I
think I might pick, if I was in hers, like if I was her.
Yeah.
I think he might be a front runner. I like him a lot.
I still think I would have picked Jeremy.
Yeah.
But now that Jeremy's out, my pick would now be Jonathan. But I
like him a lot.
Loved his family.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And like, I think it was sweet how the brother was like protective, but she was like, I wouldn't be here if I didn't see the future with him.
I thought the way she answered those questions was great. Was good.
I agreed.
Like, obviously they're here for a reason. I mean, you never can get past.
You're not gonna get. I'm gonna choose him at the end.
No,
like, the family's always ask these questions.
Yeah, the family always asks like, well, are you gonna pick them or like how And
I'm not gonna tell you.
What do you think she's gonna like end the show right now?
Yeah,
like no.
I definitely could see the possibility of it being him and me.
Yeah,
and then I'm glad he was. I loved after when they were sitting on that bench where he was like, kind of beating around the bush of saying, I'm falling in love with you. How she was like, what? Like, do it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, okay.
I'm glad he did. Because if he didn't, I think that would have
lost him points for sure.
Yeah, I think she would have felt weird about it.
I agree.
I think the lacrosse bond that they have is really sweet.
I think it's really cute.
Because that is kind of like a niche thing.
Yeah.
So the fact that they have that together, I think is cute.
Yeah. I love Jonathan.
Yeah, I really I've liked him more and more.
Same. Every week he grows more and more.
Actually, I liked him a lot at the beginning because
I loved his entrance.
I liked the end. I thought it was good.
I thought it was weird, but that's okay. Okay, Marcus. I
dun, dun, dun.
feel like it was good and like the whole date went great. Yeah. But then afterwards, he did say, I'm falling in love with you.
Yes.
But that was it.
Yeah.
And she said it back to him.
She did.
And then like their date was fine, whatever. I feel like
She cried. No, she cried.
She did cry at his date.
With the sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I was expecting it to go that in depth, I guess. Like I wasn't. Yeah. I think I'm just not, because like my personal feelings towards Marcus are different. Like I don't think I was expecting her feelings to be as like deep as I think they're.
That makes sense.
I think she likes him a lot.
I think she likes him a lot, but I think the dynamic of those two is the opposite of her and Devon and her and Jonathan and even her and Jeremy, where like those three all bring a very fun, lighthearted side out of her. Mm-hmm. She's almost more of the protector in the Marcus relationship with like his feelings and emotions. Mm. And I think that's great because obviously he's been through a lot. But I think since the beginning, she said she wants a big personality. Yeah. And that's why I just don't think Marcus should be the one for her.
I think maybe it's triggering like whether it's like older tendencies, but like she seems like maybe she likes to like fix and like protect and like make sure he's okay. Yeah. And I think maybe it's triggering like that type of a thing.
Because like obviously he's been through so much. Yeah. So like I get why she cried, where in my mind, if I were her, I'd now be really nervous about hurting him. Yeah. Because of everything he's been through. Mm-hmm. But I think I don't think she should pick him at the end.
No, I don't think so either.
And then after, when all the boys were getting together, I thought that was
weird.
Oh.
I thought I was like.
I thought it was really like cute, but I think it was a little awkward.
No, like I think it's cool that they're all friends, but I think that like, I don't think they need to be getting, like, I know I would have gotten in my head about that. Like if I was talking to the other girls about their date, I would have been like, oh.
I feel like I would have loved a shot of them all getting together and saying that they all are like good friends. Yeah. And then like just talking normal. Yeah. But then I'm like, sure, production was like, no, we don't want to hear like conversations about your hobbies. Yeah. Like they're like, talk about your dates. And that's when I'd be like, this is weird.
Yeah, because I feel like it's always cool. So you know that the contestants, like, I mean, they're together all the time, like isolated, so they do become friends, and I like that. But it's just kind of weird like when like that's you kind of sit down and you're like, well, why are we all friends? Yeah, because we're all dating the same person. Yeah. I felt bad for Marcus because like because that would have been me. That would have literally been me if I was like expressing any sort of like doubt or whatever, and all the other guys were like, no, like I'm all in. I would have been like, oh crap, like. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I do think it was good for him to know that though. Yeah. Because I feel like he needs to bow out. Yeah. If he is not as far as the other guys and he knows she wants an engagement at the end, I think he needs to leave. Yeah. And so I thought he was gonna
I did too.
Leave,
I was like,
and I was gonna give major points to him because I'm like, because he's like pretty much at this point, I think, not getting down on one knee because he doesn't even know if he loves her. Yeah. Like, I think he was pretty like pushed to say, I'm falling in love with you. Yeah.
Did you see in the preview?
Yeah. That him talking about it.
She says it. She says, I love you, I think. Yes. And then he says, I'm not there.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, if that's you, you have to go. Yeah. In my mind, you need to leave.
Yeah. I know.
Or she like after the conversation next week, she needs to send him home if he's not there.
If he's not there.
Like, come on.
Yeah, like after showing, I mean, again, it could be the edit, but after like showing his like doubts and everything, I did feel a little bit bad for Jeremy because like if I was Jen watching that back, I would have been like, Jeremy deserves to be in the final 3 as opposed to Marcus if he's not feeling it.
Man, so if it comes down to Devon and Jonathan,
I know.
Who's she gonna pick? I would have wanted whoever she doesn't pick to be the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Especially if it was Jonathan.
If it was Jonathan.
I would have loved to watch Jonathan as the Bachelor, but hey, that's fine. I feel like
I just think they picked prematurely.
I agree.
Why did they do that?
In my mind, she's picking Devon.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's for sure going to be on Paradise.
Yeah.
There's no shot Jonathan doesn't go to Paradise.
Yeah. Which Paradise.
And Jeremy for sure is also going to Paradise.
Yeah. I feel like Paradise, you get to like really see their personalities too and like what they're actually into. Because again, with the Bachelor and Bachelorette, they're kind of forced to be like, oh, this is my type. Like I'm so into this person. And you never really know if that's really. Yeah. And then they go on Paradise and it's like completely somebody different looks, different personality that they're like into. So I'm like, how genuine was that whole time you were on that season?
I feel like in my mind, I just don't have a type though. So I feel like.
True.
If Jen.
I have a type personality wise.
Yeah, like that's exactly it.
But I mean, I guess.
But I feel like all those people do go home if your personalities don't mesh.
Yeah.
On The Bachelorette.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, because you're meshing at least to an extent if you're making it to the final four. But then in my mind, I'm like, if it doesn't work out and then you go on Paradise, it's like, oh, you just like see how much better it could be. If they weren't your person, then there's, I don't know.
There's a reason, I think Grocery Store Joe was on Becca Kufrin's season. And she sent him home night one. Yeah. And then on Paradise, he got together with that taxidermist. Yeah. Like the pure opposite of Becca. So,
and then he actually ended up with that really young girl. Yeah.
And they got married.
Yeah.
Such a cute wedding they had.
Yeah.
But anyway, Hometowns was good. Yeah. I'm excited for next week. It's a double hitter. Will I watch the Men Tell All? I don't think so.
Oh, I think I will.
Okay. Well, then I will too. I oughta because we'll probably talk about it. So I have to.
I think so because I always just like to see like the one because there was a problem guy and I kind of just want to see him on the hot seat.
That's fair. So, okay.
All right. So what do you think? How do you think? What's the order you think it's going to be?
I think she either sends Marcus home.
Yeah. I think Marcus is going next week. I think it's going to be.
I still think she's going to pick Devon.
I think Devon. I agree. I think it's going to be Devon and Jonathan and Devon's going to be.
Yeah. So,
what are the odds they last? What do you think?
I honestly think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like
if he's like really what all he's saying, if it's like really genuine, I definitely do. If it's for the show, that makes me nervous.
Yeah. I feel like in my mind though, this is going to sound meaner than it's what it's supposed to. Is like he's great and he's a catch, but I don't think he's someone that's like a catch in his everyday life where like girls are like swarming or like flocking his
I do kind of agree. I feel
DMs and I almost think those are the better people you want to win because then they'll like have such affection for that one other person.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Kelsey, who won Joey's season, gorgeous and like outstanding, but I agree, like I don't think she was one where it was like I don't know how to describe it. Like they're obviously gorgeous and amazing.
They
people,
seem like normal.
Yeah.
Like a normal person that you would see kind of in your everyday life.
They're not the people who already had like 50,000 followers on Instagram and are getting all these DMs from dudes trying to date. Like those are the people who I don't think usually last like when they end up picking those at the end.
No, I agree. He seems like probably the most normal.
Yeah.
Like I would potentially see him.
Yeah. So I don't think he would like leave for a better option or like he would really entertain those because he hasn't like been doing that in his past, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree.
So anyway. Okay, well, next week we'll talk about Fantasy Suites. So
stay tuned. It's getting down there.
Heck yeah. Bye.